Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Well, there's just nothing happening right now.
No.
It's kind of sad.
News day. Slow.
So we thought maybe we'd open up by talking about our favorite breakfast foods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were kind of kicking that around between that and your favorite Disney characters. Or did you own a Barbie doll when you were younger?
Basic 4, Pluto, no.
Okay. All right. Actually, there was so much happening yesterday in Washington. It's hard to know where to start, but let's start with the federal judge, Mary Ellen Nurica, and what most thought, including me, would just be, a quick plea agreement, be a rubber stamp by the judge, but that wasn't the case.
No.
She did surprise me because I said yesterday, that's not going to happen. I mean, if it does, I'll be very pleasantly surprised. It kind of did. But the case was summarized in this clip. What happened?
The son of the President of the United States has just pleaded not guilty. Not guilty is what he has pleaded to. The judge here says that she will not accept or reject the plea agreement. She wants more information. Basically, what she is asking for is to determine whether or not it's appropriate for her to consider something in the diversion program. This relates to the gun charge. So as part of that agreement, effectively what you have here is a provision which asks the court to weigh whether or not possibly Hunter Biden could have violated his pretrial diversion agreement as it relates to the gun charge. What would happen, according to that agreement, is that the defense and the prosecution would have the opportunity to bring the facts to the court and for the court to determine whether or not there was a breach of that. If there is a breach, then the government could then move forward and prosecute Hunter Biden on the gun charge. What she says is, wait just a minute. I'm not somebody who normally has to consider those provisions. I normally don't see a pretrial diversion agreement. And now you're putting me in the position, possibly, of being the gatekeeper as to whether or not the Justice Department and the government files charges against Hunter Biden. That's not a situation from a separation of powers and a constitutionality that she feels immediately that she should be there, that she should make a determination on. So that's what this hinges on. She also has some Rule 11, that's whether or not she can accept a guilty plea or not. And there's different versions of that, where either she just kind of effectively rubber stamps an agreement or whether or not she can challenge a plea agreement and determine whether she wants to accept it or not.
She seemed to be a little pissed, frankly, that she was just expected to rubber stamp it.
It really seemed like the prosecution and the defense were well aware of everything, but the judge didn't get clued in until yesterday.
Yeah,
because apparently they didn't put it on they didn't file it properly or on the docket or something like that, and so the judge was just kind of going through this in real time, like, okay, because they never put this agreement in the space where the judge could see this. This is another Trump judge. Thank you very much, Donald Trump.
Oh, wow. Man.
Every time there's a federal judge involved and it's good news, it's always a Donald Trump appointee.
And what she said made sense. She shouldn't be put in that position because, she was thinking, okay, does this preclude any other charges being brought against this guy? Does this handcuff now the government for all time with any charges against him? Now they claim, no, it doesn't, but who knows?
It had this feel of just sign here, Judge.
Yeah.
Just put your... Sign
just
right
shut
here.
up and don't worry about the details. We've already taken care of that.
Like the terms and agreements.
You're cute. It's cute that you want to do your job, but you don't need to. All right? We got that covered, Puddin'.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it was, and she was insulted by it, for one thing. And she was, clearly she didn't like the way this thing was going down. Right. And she shouldn't.
And then when she asked in court, is there an ongoing investigation? Yeah. Well, that's when she put the brakes on.
Okay.
But it's like they totally were trying to pull one over on this judge.
They were. And she wasn't having it.
So dramatic. They have 14 days to get back to her. And then on Friday, August 25th, I think, 26th, what day is that? Friday the 25th, they're expected back in court.
And he can change his plea at that time. So he may, if they redo the deal, if they get it all figured out, he can come back and plead guilty and go ahead with the deal if she agrees to it. We'll see. I mean, who knows?
But you're absolutely right that she was pissed. And you remember yesterday, Jeffy and I were like, what's going on with the thing they had till 9 o'clock last night? We were talking yesterday to get back to the judge. So I want there to be audio of this phone call. I doubt there is.
I know.
But someone from the Hunter team, right, called saying they were a member or they were representing the law firm associated with the Republican House Committee that's investigating him and trying to get that thing pulled down off the public sphere.
Jeez.
But she said she was part of that law firm, not the actual law firm that she was. And so that's what pissed her off the night before this thing went down in court.
It's been shady from the beginning.
Absolutely. This is a mess. But I'm glad there's someone standing in the breach here.
Yeah. It takes guts to stand up to the president of the United States' family. And she's doing it. Later in the day, Jonathan Karl explained more about what happened in the courtroom yesterday.
And I can just tell you with extensive conversations with the Hunter Biden team that they were only going to agree to plead guilty to those tax charges if it came with this this immunity, so they could say everything else is put aside.
Okay.
Good catch. Thank you, Judge, for reading the terms and conditions.
Yes. How about that? What a concept. Actually check things out before you make a rubber stamp ruling.
Yeah, because what would happen is 3 months from now, we would hear Hunter Biden is under investigation, blah, blah, blah. But as part of his plea deal back in whatever, in July, he's immune from prosecution.
Right.
Bullet dodged.
And I'll bet they're trying to pull that, too. Also in Hollywood, they're taking a little time off from raping each other to go ahead and go on strike. So I guess a lot of the A-list actors have not shown up at the picket lines, and people are a little pissed about that.
Oh.
You mean these people who are worth $200, $300 million aren't going down to the street corner with a sign?
Probably not how I would spend my day if I had that kind of wealth.
No, but it's bad optics that they're not supporting all the little people, who don't make that kind of money. And most of them don't. But at least they did take the time off from raping each other. So we got that going for us.
So no progress there, huh?
We got that going for us. No progress.
Shoot. My life is so negatively affected.
All our lives upside down, Keith.
Yeah.
What if we don't have new episodes of shows for a year?
I got news for you. I wouldn't notice. Seriously. I don't watch enough TV, I guess.
Oh, man. Not as much as you should. You need to get more TV in your life. At the end of your life, I think you'll look back, on your deathbed and think, oh, gosh, I missed way too many shows.
Why didn't I binge watch that one show? If I
just watched The Office for a third time all the way through,
all right, now
my life would have been much more complete.
No. Now I'm not going there with you.
Okay.
No.
All right.
The Office is excellent.
It is. That's why I think you should have watched it a third time all the way through.
You're right. I should have.
What, are there 9 seasons of that?
I don't know.
I like it when, you're looking for something that you've never seen. And I usually ignore the ones that have one season because it's like, okay, they didn't even finish this thing. But when you see 9 seasons, 15 seasons, then you're like, okay,
I can commit to this.
That's binge-worthy.
Yeah, there's 9 seasons. We joke about this, that I'm so far behind on pop culture and movies and shows. I am enjoying Parks and Rec for the first time.
Oh, good.
It's a good show.
Oh, you haven't watched Parks and Rec?
No, my kids
either.
My kids just love it, and I'm in season 2, and so they have all the
Is
episodes.
it edgy or?
Yeah, there's some. There's some to that. Yeah. But I mean, it is so amazing to watch shows like The Office and Parks and Rec and think to yourself, it wasn't that far back that, America was fun. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I know.
We could joke and laugh, and stereotypes were still in the wheelhouse of comedians. And But no, I mean,
not anymore.
I mean, a rapid descent here.
Oh my gosh, it's been mind-boggling. Yeah. So there was so much happening at the Capitol yesterday. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell was talking to reporters. Man, this is sad, and this happened.
Bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Oh no. Hello. Oh boy. Wow. Oh.
Are you good?
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say?
They don't even know what to do.
No.
Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Wow, he's just. Wow.
Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
But the guy's 81.
Yeah.
You know, this is what happens when you stay in office forever. All these people that are they're hell bent to drop dead in office. Well, okay, you're going to be subjected to some of the things that come with aging when you're 81 years old and still hold one of the most powerful positions in America.
Yeah.
I mean, just that's really sad.
I think even,
I don't wish that on anybody.
No, and that's shocking video. And the first time I saw it, I thought he was listening to a report. I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't read anything about it. I'm like, is there somebody asking a question? What's happening here? But then when they let him away, I don't know how long it took until he came to.
But here he's going back to his office, apparently.
Yeah. I just don't know. By the way, his term runs through 2026.
Of course.
And Kentucky has a governor's race this year. We know right now it's the Democrat, Beshear, right? Wouldn't he appoint the replacement if he can't make it? So I guess he'll probably hang on for the next few months and see what happens. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know, but we've got so many of these situations in Congress. In the presidency, okay? It starts right at the top with Joe Biden. You've got Nancy Pelosi, who's been compromised. You have Dianne Feinstein, who's 90, and everybody admits that she's deep into dementia of some sort. I don't know if it's Alzheimer's or what it is. John Fetterman, who can't tie his shoelaces. I mean, wow.
And here's Mitch McConnell.
And then Mitch McConnell.
I mean, the Senate Minority Leader. I mean, the head Republican in the Senate. Just come on.
We obviously have an oligarchy. And it's going really well, isn't it? Yeah. How do you like it so far?
So you remember he fell in April. He was out for 6 weeks.
Right.
He had the surgery. He comes back, and I saw this story yesterday that in July 14th, he apparently fell face first on a flight in D.C.
Ooh.
And people are starting to mention that. Like, several people on the
you start putting this stuff together, and he's got real problems, real issues.
Not good.
No, it's not. It's not good, and it's not good for him. It's not good for the country. So maybe we should take that into consideration. Start, I don't know, being honest that you can't stay in office indefinitely. There's got to be some sort of limit.
Yeah, but he came back to the point. He's fine.
Oh, he came back. You're right. He came back. All right.
Let's see this. Watch. He just comes back and he's like, I'm good.
You address what happened here at the start of the press conference and
address what happened
to your injury from earlier this year where you suffered a concussion. Is that?
no, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Not fine.
You're fine. You're fully able to do your job.
Mr. Lear, can I just...
Did you have a stroke? Did
Right.
anybody ask him that?
No.
It looked like you had a stroke. Is that what's going on?
That's the point blank question someone should ask.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he was coming down the hall and a female reporter asked him, hey, everything okay, whatever. And he said, I'm okay. Did you see a doctor? He ignored her and kept walking. It's like, oh God, okay.
Good question, too.
Yeah.
Did you see a doctor? Kind of legitimate. We should know the answer to that. Do they think we don't have any right to know the answer to those questions?
Well,
come on.
David Hogg. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he is an icon of thought in America.
He sure is.
And so he had a poignant tweet yesterday that I think you get a lot out of here.
Oh.
Here's what he said, David Hogg.
Oh, my. Like just the first couple of words drive me out of my mind. If Biden did what Mitch did today, the media would be covering nonstop. No, they wouldn't. For 2 weeks. Jeez.
We practically see it every day, David.
But because it's a Republican, it's like nothing ever happened. What a bunch of bull crap.
Oh, no, the last line is the greatest line ever.
The right-wing bias of corporate media is nuts.
The right-wing bias of corporate media. Bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Harvard, are you proud?
And by the way, Biden does it every day.
Yeah.
Something like that happens to him every day. So shut up. And it's covered up by all the media. These people are just so agonizing.
No.
My gosh. You know that 25% of representatives in Congress, that's the House and the Senate, are over the age of 70.
Oh.
So we got that going for us.
Oh, no.
Over the age of 70. And then I don't know how many more are 80 plus.
That's a good question.
A certain percentage of the 25% are over 80. Holy cow. Is that a good idea? Does anybody think, yeah, that's exactly the way it should be?
I'm looking at a chart. This is fun.
Okay.
This is cool. I was looking to see how many were over 80, and I was led here. So when you look at what I'm holding up here, blue is the House, red is the Senate. And I don't know if you can see the age breakdown. Come this way, Joseph. Thank you so much. The categories there, I can't. I got to turn this around to be able to see it. So the first column is, the first row on the left is 20 to 29. There's like a little blip there. All the way down to 80 plus, as you can see this breakdown. So clearly, so 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s,
70s.
Yeah, so 50s and 60s, your main area there. But 70s, I mean, this 80 plus down here, get out.
Wow, man.
Get out.
Wow. All right. Speaking of aging, there's certain things that happen to us over time. One of those things is we put our liver through an awful lot of things, and that develops fatty liver. And people with fatty liver are 3.5 times more likely to have heart failure than those without. The American Liver Foundation says that 100 million Americans have fatty liver. So a lot of us are at risk because we pummel our liver with cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, Tylenol, statins, cigarettes, and so many of us develop sluggish fatty liver. Makes us gain weight, lose energy, all of those things. But there is a solution. It's called Liver Health Formula. It's all natural, an all-natural supplement that contains 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. It's manufactured right here in the U.S., and it's approved by American doctors. You can try Liver Health Formula and get a free bottle of nano-powered omega-3 to keep your heart healthy. Try Liver Health Formula by going to getliverhelp.com/Pat. Getliverhelp.com/Pat. Claim your free bonus gift. Getliverhelp.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So, the other thing, one of the other things, gosh, there's just so much.
Yesterday was unreal.
Really crazy.
I kept tabs on the news yesterday. By the way, I wasted my life watching KJP. I wanted to see if there's going to be anything on the Hunter Biden thing. I watched the entire thing, and that was a mistake, and I will never make it again.
Did anybody even ask?
Yeah, at the very beginning.
Okay.
And then she's just
and she wouldn't answer.
As I've always said, I'm referring you to Hunter Biden's lawyers, okay?
Shut up.
No, actually, and you know what? I summarized the whole, any press conference. You don't need to ever watch a KJP press conference because I summed it up in one tweet. So if you ever want to know what you missed when KJP talks,
just refer to this tweet.
Yeah, here's summarized. Do you like my dress? Republicans are bad. Bidenomics is helping. I'm not going to get into that. I can't speak on that. I can't answer that. I've already answered that. I haven't seen anything on that. I'll refer you to blank. There you go.
There you go.
You've been there.
Nice.
In the press room. But yeah, so
that's really true, too.
So much
That's a good summary of it.
So much yesterday.
Well, the UFO hearings that we found out so much more information.
And it was way down the list when you would go to news websites. It was the Hunter Biden thing. It was what's going on with Mitch McConnell. And then it was, oh, by the way, we talked about UFOs in Congress today and alien bodies.
something that would have led the front page in bold type years ago on every newspaper in America barely gets mentioned.
This is
barely mentioned. I mean, the guy said the U.S. government has found extraterrestrials dead from these UFO crashes.
Yeah, we got some good clips from that hearing.
So you're saying we do have alien bodies, probably performed alien autopsies. Remember that Fox scam?
Yes.
But it's actually happened, according to this guy. I don't know what to make of it, but here's a Navy pilot explaining an encounter he had with a UFO.
How do you know that these were not our aircraft?
Some of the behaviors that we saw in a working area, we would see these objects being at 0.0 Mach, that's zero airspeed, over certain pieces of the ground. So what that means, just like a river, if you throw a bobber in, it's going to float downstream. These objects were staying completely stationary in Category 4 hurricane winds. These same objects would then accelerate to supersonic speeds, 1.1, 1.2 Mach, and they would do so in very erratic and quick behaviors that I don't have an explanation for.
Oh, wow.
Staying steady in level 4 hurricane force 4 winds. Oh, gosh.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and that same guy.
I've never heard that before.
Lieutenant Graves said that these incidents that pilots are encountering are, quote, not rare or isolated, end quote. So he's like, there's just a stigma attached and they don't come forward.
Wow.
And so.
But they're not rare.
They're
so
not
it happens
rare or isolated.
fairly frequently.
Yeah. I mean, there was
interesting.
There was stuff about, let's see, like 2014 F-18 pilot stationed in Virginia Beach. Let's see, darker gray black cubes inside of a clear sphere where the apex or tips of the cubes were touching the inside of that sphere, end quote. A fellow pilot told him about an incident 10 miles off the coast. Object between 5 and 15 feet in diameter flew between two F-18s and came within 50 feet of the aircraft.
Wow. Plus, a lot of these craft apparently can also go underwater and do the same kind of maneuvers. And then they can fly above the water and they can stop completely, as he just said. They can accelerate like nothing that we can even conceive of on Earth. They defy physics, really, at least as we know it.
We exist at their pleasure, I'm afraid.
Interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah.
Clearly, if they were here with bad intent, they could have done whatever they wanted to do.
That's what it's feeling like after that hearing yesterday.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace had some interesting questions for Intelligence Officer David Grush, who...
Yeah, he's the whistleblower.
Yeah, he's the guy that came forward and said that there's been a UFO recovery program happening for decades within the U.S. government.
This is the guy at first I saw an interview with, and I was just like... No, I read, and I was like, eh... Then I saw an interview, and I was like, all right, he seems credible.
That's what people say who know him.
Then I heard another interview where they were talking about him, and he said there are so many people that say he's a straight shooter. He wouldn't be doing this if it weren't true. So he's got a lot of people, character witness types. And then yesterday, he seemed very believable as well.
Yeah, here's some of that exchange.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Okay.
Why?
So,
pause it for just a sec. I thought that was the point of this. I thought that's why he came forward in the first place, so that the American people could understand and know finally what's going on.
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole point? So tell us.
Yeah. And one thing that he did say yesterday that we don't have a clip of, he was asked if anyone had been murdered as part of the conspiracy to keep UFOs secret.
Oh, wow.
He responded, quote, I have to be careful answering that question. I directed people with that knowledge to the appropriate authorities.
The other thing he wouldn't answer, except in a skiff, is has the U.S. government already communicated with extraterrestrials? Have we Have we spoken to them? He won't answer that publicly.
Got to get in the skiff.
Yeah, got to do the skiff. So
I want to be in a skiff. At some
me
point,
too.
You know,
Me
is it just like
too.
a concrete slab everywhere?
Jeez.
No ceiling tiles, so you couldn't bug it. It's just concrete. Is that what that is?
Yeah,
I'd love to know.
I don't know, but Nancy Mace suggested, okay, yeah, maybe we put that together. Maybe? Yeah, let's do.
Let's see more.
He was asked point blank.
Well, we have more on that clip, I think.
All right. Oh, that's right. Go ahead.
That be determined.
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Again.
Okay. So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Wow.
Super. Thank you.
Let's go. I'm ready for the next round of hearings.
So he was also asked if the U.S. government had possession of UFOs.
Sometimes I know that you have also said some of these answers in the past, but we're trying to get them on the public record as well, which is really important. Mr. Gresh, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
Okay.
I know the exact locations, and those locations were provided to the Inspector General, and some of which to the intelligence committees. I actually had the people with the firsthand knowledge provide a protected disclosure to the Inspector General.
Yeah, I believe
fascinating.
I believe it's the is it pronounced Dulce base? DULCE. Is that the one down deep below the ground in New Mexico? I don't know. I bet that's what he's talking about.
Fascinating. What do you make of this? Do you believe it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do?
Yeah, I do. And in fact, this is a good time to remind people that is it Tuvi? Tuvi, the free little channel you can get on Roku or whatever, TUVI. If you look for the show Phenomenon or The Phenomenon, that's what put me over the top. I could have gone either way for the last, 30, 40 years. You watch that and the eyewitnesses and the stories, and you want to talk about believability. Listen to the people on that show, The Phenomenon.
I just don't know how it fits into the scope of God.
Oh, we should go and ask the people at the museum.
Yes, we should.
I wonder if they have a take on that.
I don't know. I'm sure they do, because they've got a take on a lot of things.
But remember that word biologics.
Biologics.
Biologics. I think we're going to hear that word quite a bit going forward.
Yeah. I just think, I never believed the stories about the big head and round eyes and all that, because I think they'd look like us, right? If they're created by the same God who created us in his image, he created everybody in his image. And so I never believed the little 3-foot green people thing.
Right.
And then I don't fully comprehend how he would allow them to come here. I don't know. It just seems weird.
So
I don't know how that fits into the scheme.
What if they're humans from the future?
That seems unlikely.
But
maybe.
And they've kind of
I like
evolved,
that explanation, though. That's kind of fun.
I mean,
think of
your smartphone, right? I mean, you're having to use it, right? It sure would be helpful if you just had really long fingers and big eyes, because, our eyes get worn out looking at smartphones all day.
They got
computers.
Those skinny little arms. They don't lift anything anymore.
He's right here from looking for him.
right there.
See, look, so he needs his eyes so he can see his smartphone better, and then he can navigate easier with his long little slimy fingers.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah. And that fits into the museum thing where they said we adapt, and it's in us. It's in our DNA to adapt to our surroundings and circumstances.
So the other thing that came out yesterday from that hearing was that they've been the government's been aware of UFOs since the 30s.
Yes. That's what he said.
And been recovering crafts for decades.
Amazing. I mean, that's really something. All right. 888-900-3393.
Breakfast food's coming up, right?
Yes, of course. Right around the corner. Got some exes, tweets. I don't want to dead name them. They're exes from X. eHarmony's humor. X's
at Harmony. No,
at Harmony's, not eHarmony.
Yeah,
so this isn't the dating site.
No, this is my handwriting.
All
It
right.
sucks.
I just want one of my tweets read on Pat Unleashed. Still working on being clever. Oh, and being awake at 5 a.m. to listen live.
Oh, you got your tweet read.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So apparently she'll hear that later whenever she tunes in. But
why later, though?
I don't know. No dedication, I guess. Get your butt out of bed at 5 a.m.
Yeah. So 5 a.m. So
depending what time zone you're in.
Right. She's in the Mountain Time Zone. A true fan, if Harmony here were a true Pathead, then she would move to the East Coast or something.
Right.
So she could sleep until 7 and still catch the show live. But whatever.
But yeah.
So, and very few people catch it live. I learned that recently. That the majority of the audience gets it later.
Yeah, but there's still a significant number.
Yeah, and we appreciate you very much. You are the dedicated folks, okay? Not Harmony.
Yep.
Okay.
Carol or Marks tweets, space alien lockdown mandates coming to America 2024. Probably.
Yeah.
They never let a crisis go to waste.
No.
David Weaver says their plan is working. We're talking about UFOs and aliens instead of things that matter. They're not real.
Oh, all right. That's a definitive statement.
Actually, we're talking about the real things as well.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 hours here. We can discuss more than one thing.
Maybe he means the general public.
Yes, perhaps. Lord James of Georgia. Hunter Biden's plea bargain fell through. He pled not guilty at arraignment and had additional charges possibly added to his case. And the country is talking about UFOs and aliens.
Which, by the way, I did look this up. We had the date of Hunter to buttress, that point of they're distracting us. The Hunter court date was set before the alien.
Before the thing was set up?
Congressional hearing.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe that is part of it.
Could be.
I don't know.
Could be. Let's go to Michael in Maine. Hey, Michael, you're on the Blaze. You there?
Hello.
There he is. Michael?
Oh.
Hey.
Hello. Hey, I did what Keith was just talking about. I've moved to Maine for the summer from Salt Lake City.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
Cool. So I get to watch it live, and now I can say, bingo!
Nice. Woo! All right. So where did your bingo occur?
Middle column down.
Okay.
Starting with favorite breakfast foods.
Mm-hmm.
This is about optics, not about safety.
Okay.
We've got that going for us, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
The croissants.
Yes, always brilliant.
My favorite, pudding.
Pudding. All right.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Thanks for getting up with us. Very bright and early, even in Maine. Michael, appreciate it. So did we get you lined up with your prizes?
Yeah, we did. I have a question for you, Pat.
Yeah.
I've got peanut allergies.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Kexi cookies, is there cross-contamination or the ones without peanuts?
I don't.
Are they safe?
I don't think so. But I'd have to refer to my wife on that. But I don't. I mean, we don't do peanuts in very many cookies. There is peanut butter though. I don't know if there's been in any current batches, but I'll find out.
Yeah, I'm just.
I'll look into that.
Quick glance here.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. But he gets the $30 worth of merch from patgrayshop.com, and of course the 12 hopefully nut-free cookies from Kexi.com, KEKSI.com. Do you see anything on that?
I'm not seeing
Do we have it
anything
on our
on the
website?
website. Yeah, I just I feel like I read a package earlier. Recently that said this was made in a kitchen, but I can't remember if it was a Kexi cookie because I've been eating a lot of those, so that's why I think it might have said that there was some. I don't know.
There is cross-contamination?
Yeah, we don't have any Kexi thing in here. Shoot.
Well, we don't want to kill Michael. I do know that.
But maybe if somebody could just look at the back of a Kexi package and just tweet it to us, then X it to us, then we'll find out for sure.
There was another hearing going on in Washington yesterday.
Busy place.
Keith wants us to play a game of guessing what the topic is again. This is Representative Hank Johnson from Georgia. This is Congressman Capsize. See if we can guess what the topic of this hearing is based on some of Hank Johnson's opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't trust the government of Florida to tell teachers how to teach history, particularly black history, wanting to put a revisionist idea that somehow slaves benefited from being slaves. I don't think that is the truth.
Dude,
but I'll tell you, my
stop with
friend
the freaking lie?
Donald Trump will have his folks thinking that that's the truth.
Oh my gosh. Okay, any guess as to what that's about? What is he setting up here? A discussion on slavery or reparations? I mean, that's what you would be led to believe, that it had something to do with slavery. But
no,
my guess is no.
No.
Because he doesn't make any sense.
How did you get there from that? That's obviously the beginning of the immigration hearing.
Okay, obviously. Yeah, that was dumb of me.
He is.
How is he? Why?
Help us.
Oh, my gosh.
That is the Homeland Security Oversight Committee hearing.
He just had to get the Florida BS in there. They just have to lie about everything going on in Florida now. I mean, the people who wrote it, the blacks on the committee that wrote these things, that this curriculum, have talked about it being a lie, and that still doesn't matter. They just push forward with that lie. They don't care.
It's incredible. And
man,
the black professor was even saying that, you know, we're talking about Frederick Douglass.
Right.
And them sneaking the mistress reading to him, teaching him how to read and teaching him, you know, that they're literally arguing with Frederick Douglass and by making up stuff, saying, oh, there must have been a good time for slaves. No, it's Frederick Douglass saying that I was taught as long as they could get away with it. These people, I swear. I mean,
it's so
insufferable.
Bad. It is so bad. It's just like the don't say gay thing. And it just sticks. And they just continue to harp on it, even though it's a flat out lie. And you think back to hands up, don't shoot. Never said, never happened in the case that they were talking about. And they continue to use that anytime Michael Brown comes up. It just doesn't stop with these idiots. Sheila Jackson Lee asked Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas if we have control at the border.
Okay.
So would you say, having been asked this over and over again, that the United States, the President of the United States, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and all of the hardworking men and women at the border have operational control or have a form of presence, that they are aware of what's going on in the border and that they're working to secure the border every single day?
As we define that term, Congresswoman, we do.
As we define that term. Wow, okay, that's a pretty loose definition of that term, operational control, when 2.6 million people are crossing the border that we encounter, and it's probably more like 3.6 million or 4.6 million when you include people who we don't encounter at the border.
You keep using that phrase.
Yeah.
Operational control. Wow. I do not think it means what you think it means. Yeah.
Let's discuss operational control with Representative Chip Roy in Mayorkas.
Oh, yeah.
You testified with respect to the definition of operational control. I do not use the definition that appears in the Secure Fence Act. And the Secure Fence Act provides statutorily that operational control is defined as preventing all unlawful entries in the United States, and by that definition, no administration has ever had operational control. If you will recall when you testified here in front of me when I asked that question, when you very clearly stated, we do have operational control, when presented with the actual definition of operational control, you didn't hesitate, you said, I do, and you, in fact, then referred back and said, I believe that my predecessors would have said the same thing. I asked Chad Wolf that question in this room, and Chad said, well, no, we didn't use that framing to say we have operational control. We're striving to achieve operational control. But you didn't do that. You looked straight at the American people, straight at me, straight at every person on this committee, and said, we have operational control. Why?
Congressman, 2 points. One, you did not let me complete my answer. Two.
Hold on. Let's give you your second point. Go ahead.
Thank you. Two, the Secure Fence Act defines operational control as not a single individual crosses the border.
I'm aware. I read it, and I read it to you, and you read it, and in fact, you said, I do. You didn't hesitate. You didn't say, I do. I need to explain what I mean by I do. You said, I do, over and over again. And here's the problem with that. This is a pattern.
It's a lie.
Did you lie another time when you said on September 24th, 2021 at a press conference, quote, we know that those images painfully conjured up the worst elements of our nation's ongoing battle against systemic racism when responding to the alleged whipping incident by the Border Patrol agents who report to you. When in fact, on October 22nd, 2022, it was reported that 2.5 hours before that press conference, Marcia Espinoza, Assistant Secretary of DHS Public Affairs, emailed you and CC'd other DHS leadership, alerting you all that the photographer who took the images did not see any whipping occur, invalidating the initial claim. And it wasn't until May of this year that you corrected the record to say, well, let me just correct you right there because actually the investigation concluded the whipping did not occur. Don Rosenberg, in this very room, testified a few weeks ago that you lie. It is a perpetual pattern, and the fact is there are real people that are impacted by that. We have now had, since you testified, we have had something like 200 people a day dying from fentanyl deaths, which would amount to 90,000 people. I showed you before, when you were here, the lost voices of fentanyl, the hundreds, the thousands of Americans that continue to die, 90,000 since you came into this committee and lied to us saying we have operational control.
Nice dressing down there. Doesn't matter, though. He'll continue to lie. He'll continue to make excuses. Somehow this stuff never sticks to these people. He's still in his office. How is that possible?
Yeah, actually, one of the congressmen yesterday called for his impeachment. Ken Buck didn't call him a traitor, but said, my constituents think you're a traitor. There was a lot of dressing down of Mayorkas. If any cabinet member is impeached, which they will not be, because it's the Republicans, but if there were, he's got to be the prime candidate, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Congressman Tom McClintock came with some immigration fun facts, too, yesterday.
These are
You've already released more than 2.1 million illegal immigrants into this country since you took office. That's a population the size of the state of Nebraska. While the Border Patrol has been consumed by taking names and changing diapers at the border, 1.5 million known gotaways have illegally entered the country as well. That's an additional illegal population the size of the state of Hawaii. Wow. So once again, I would ask you, what is the limit, or is there one?
Wow. I mean,
no, there isn't one.
When you put it into perspective like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely astounding. All right, let me tell you about how to boost your testosterone and get your old self back. Our sponsor, Nugenix Total T, is offering a complimentary bottle. All you have to do is text 231-231 and enter the keyword unleashed. Are you ready to figure out your shape, your muscle, your energy problems? As men age, we lose that free testosterone, the man hormone. We lose that fire. It's harder to feel as alive and energetic and be as active. It's even harder to stay in shape. Now you can get that old fire back with Nugenix. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Nugenix Total T can help re-energize your life and help you get back to the powerful, confident, good-looking warrior you used to be. If you're not totally satisfied, Nugenix will refund 100% of your purchase price, plus shipping and processing. And now you get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T when you text 231-231, enter the keyword unleashed. Text now, get a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest and most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you lose weight fast and get lean fast. And that's absolutely free. So, again, text 231231, enter the keyword unleashed. Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. Number one doctor-recommended brand by primary care physicians based on an independent survey conducted by IQVIA 2022. Let's get back to the clips if we could. Do we have enough time?
Well,
for this?
we got another McClintock here. I think
okay.
this is a good one as well. Yeah.
Here he is.
Actually, he testified that 72,000 illegal migrants were removed in 2022. But in 2019, there were 267,000 removals. So removals are down under your administration by more than 75%. Meanwhile, in 2019, there were 458,000 border encounters, yet under your policies, we're now up to 2.3 million encounters. That's 5 times as many. So while encounters were up 5 times, removals are down by 75%. How do you account for this?
Congressman, a few points.
Okay.
Number one,
let's go.
Our approach of expanding lawful pathways for people to reach the border and delivering consequences for those who arrive at our border irregularly is working.
Irregularly? It's working. Wait, what?
Yeah. Funnel them through.
He just laid out all of that information, all the facts. That means it's not working. And your response is, it's working.
So I can't wait for after the break here. We got this Matt Gaetz clip. He's going to explain how it's working. And I just love how animated Matt Gaetz gets. I mean, that would be a Congressman Keith up there. I'd be like, Mayorkas, you suck. Yeah. Let me tell you how. But I saw this article. What percentage from the mainstream media of coverage of the border do you think focuses on the illegal drug trade? Got to guess? Because remember, we learned earlier in the show from David Hogg that the right-wingers control the media in this country.
Right.
So what percentage of border coverage from ABC, CBS, and NBC, what percentage of that airtime is addressed to drug trafficking?
2%.
You're correct.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly right.
Exactly the number. I thought you knew. You guessed, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I knew it was low.
I got some Kexi cookies for you. Gonna get a dozen of those.
Wow, thank you. I can't eat them, but thank you.
Oh, no.
888-900-3393. More coming up.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Indeed. Welcome. Great to have you with us. Got a few X's here. Carl Smith, X's. The news that the government has recovered dead aliens will only lead every news outlet when their cause of death is attributed to climate change or COVID. COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hear about it then. Of Solt's tweets, sounds like that dude's main goal is to get Nancy alone in the skiff.
Whoops.
Oopsies.
Knock some over there. Yeah, that's exactly what that sounded like. Look.
I can only talk about this with you and me alone.
State your name for the record, sir. I'm willing to do that in the skiff.
Scott the Voice tweets X's. Tweet X's. Watching you live now on Pluto TV. It's part of my daily morning routine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Channel 465, by the way, on Pluto every morning.
DMXDM. Pat, I have excellent taste buds. Send me a dozen of every flavor you have, and I'll let you know if there are nuts in any of them. That's a generous offer. Thank you. Rhonda Langley. To better understand UAPs, read Timothy Alberino's book, Birthright, for a biblical worldview of what's happening.
Oh, cool.
Eye-opening. Interesting. Timothy Klein. The biologics from the UAPs are going to have a virus that will be an extraterrestrial threat, an existential threat to all humans. This will be unleashed in a skiff at the next hearing.
Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, fascinating. We were about to get to the Matt Gaetz portion of the hearing with Alejandro Mayorkas yesterday. So this will be fun. He spent some time with Mayorkas, and here's what happened.
Here's what I'm sort of getting and what your non-responsiveness is demonstrating. The Mayorkas doctrine is this. If you show up at the border and get released into the country, if you don't commit a specific aggravated felony, which, by the way, doesn't include a lot of assault and battery, doesn't include a lot of bad domestic violence, but if you're not one of the people who commit those crimes, you get to stay forever. Is that a fair characterization of your doctrine?
No, that is false.
Then tell me how many you're sending home.
No, that is false.
Okay, well, but you don't know the number of how many you've sent home. Here's another number. 1.2 million people today have been through your entire process, right? They've been through what you call a removal proceeding is just an amnesty dance. Because after the 1.2 million people get an order from the judge saying that they don't have a basis to be here, you still don't remove them. Like, what's your plan to remove those people?
Congressman, that is false.
Okay, how many of them then? Just give me the number.
Congressman, in this country, there are between 11 and 12 million.
Right, but I'm asking about a subset
what a
that you
bogus
won't
lie
send
that
home.
is.
And the reason you're smirking about it and the reason you won't answer my question is because everybody gets the joke. And the sad thing is it's not just us here, it's the cartels who get the joke too. And so now what you've done to execute this Mayorkas doctrine where so long as you don't commit a crime, you get to stay here and burden our hospitals, burden our schools, burden our social services, burden our jails. You've sent the message to the cartels, and then you've taken this app and you've digitized illegal immigration and you've scaled it to the moon. Like this app that you've got everybody downloading is like the Disney Fast Pass into the country, never to be subject to actual removal, just removal proceedings, as you call them.
Really good.
That app doesn't do any search of their criminal history in their home country, does it?
Congressman, I disagree with everything you have said.
Well, I'm sure, but just answer the question. Does the app that you are out there promoting do any search of people's criminal history in their home country?
Congressman, Customs and Border Protection screens and vets individuals whom they encounter.
Your app, it either has the functionality to test their criminal history in their home country or it doesn't. By the way, if it did, you'd have already told me. It doesn't.
Nice. That's nice. And again, he sneaked in the lie that there are, Congressman, there are between 11 and 12 million illegals in this country. No. No.
I mean, that's Mayorkas math. That may be the only math that's worse than Keith math.
Yeah, that's bad math because that's what they said in 2001. That's 22 years ago. So you're telling me that it is exactly the same now as it was then, despite the fact that you encounter 2.6 million every year trying to cross the border? Okay. All right.
We are as good as a government at counting illegals in this country as China is at counting COVID deaths.
Yeah.
It's like the same
We're probably
game.
better at that. Yeah. I mean, the number is more like 33 million, maybe 40 million now. I mean, it's ludicrous to assume it's the exact same number that it's been for the last 23 years. Oh, okay.
And just remember the size of Nebraska, 2.1 million since the Biden administration took office.
Crazy.
Released into this country.
Just crazy. Also in Congress yesterday, Adam Schiff, who bemoaned the fact that social media is becoming a place for more free speech.
You remember the argument from the left when they had a clampdown on every social media outlet, and it was, well, it's a private business. Mm-hmm. They can police it how they want. They can do what they want. They're a private business. All of a sudden, they're capitalists. They're on the left. Now that it's owned on Twitter, or I'm sorry, X is owned by Elon Musk. And as Schiff talks about here, YouTube now allowing some discussion about the 2020 election results. Oh, no, now we got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, these people.
I'm particularly concerned about YouTube's recent decision. I think, the Republican badgering has had an effect, and this is part of the effect. YouTube recently decided to, quote, stop removing content that advances false claims that widespread fraud, errors, or glitches occurred in the 2020 and other past U.S. presidential elections. So YouTube has now decided it's not going to remove content it knows to be false. Other social media platforms like Twitter have decided to fire those that would be in the business of security or looking for misinformation, disinformation campaigns from whatever sources.
From a guy who impeached a president over known lies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. That's
Adam
good stuff.
Schiff, man, go away.
And what a concept that YouTube doesn't get to decide what's true and what's not. And maybe they don't know all the facts. Maybe you have a differing opinion than them on certain things. It's a good thing that they're not going to do that now. That's a good thing. Not to the Democrats. These people want to shut down any discussion at all that they disagree with because they can't win the argument on its merits. They just can't do it. Here's some good news, though. Left-wing activists are panicking as companies and corporations are choosing to lower their commitment to diversity and equity, according to a new report by the Wall Street Journal. The report said that thousands of diversity-focused workers have been laid off in the last year after many companies had rushed to prove that they were implementing diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. There's a combination of grief, being very tired, and being, in some cases, overwhelmed, according to Miriam Warren, a diversity officer at Yelp. The report cites frequent social media firestorms to explain why some companies are pivoting away from hiring DEI officers. Those may include the Bud Light debacle over trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney and the backlash against Target selling LGBTQ-themed products to children, by the way, by a designer who promotes Satanism and violence. When
you say it like that.
Yeah, it sounds bad, doesn't it? According to one estimate, the DEI industry ballooned to $3.4 billion in 2020. Since then, chief diversity officers are experiencing 40% higher turnover as compared to other positions.
Wow.
A separate study found that searches of chief diversity officer have dropped by 75% over the last year. Good. One HR hiring expert said it's the lowest demand he has seen in the last 30 years.
Okay. So ever since the dawning of the Clinton era.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
That sounds good, right?
Making some progress, I guess.
Just now these grifters out there that are, been cashing a paycheck, telling every one of your employees how garbage of humans they are because they're white, they're straight, male. They've got to find a real job now.
Hate to see that happen.
Yeah.
They don't have any skills. And more good news, academic researchers condemned students' irreverent and offensive responses to an LGBTQ survey, claiming the pushback indicates fascist ideologues are living inside the house of engineering and computer science. Oh, no.
So this is Oregon State University Engineer Department.
Oh, no.
Questionnaire.
All
right.
Then they wrote about their shock at receiving sarcasm and mockery in response to their research into undergraduate LGBTQ students studying in STEM fields. The team claimed 50 of 349 responses to their questionnaire on the topic contained slurs, hate speech, or direct targeting of the research team.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that.
No. You don't want people being sarcastic about these questions, do you? According to the article, when the malicious subjects were asked to fill out demographic data, 12 respondents, or 24%, indicated their gender as being related to a helicopter or aircraft, ranging from an Apache attack helicopter to a V-22 Osprey.
Awesome.
Are you saying they can't identify as that?
Who are you to say that this is wrong to do?
Right?
Man,
they can identify as anything they want. In the section declaring one's disabilities, responses range from claiming to be illiterate to lamenting my country is run by communists.
All right, there we go.
Or even declaring that identifying as transgender is a disability in itself due to the inability to come to terms with biological reality.
All right. There's still some common sense out there.
Under racial and ethnic identities, they said, I'm an ethnic gift card. And for disability, the answer was, I don't have enough gift cards. Other responses to questions about identity rejected the researchers' project entirely with answers such as, my skin color is not important. And come on, man, these questions are stupid. Everyone is a grab bag of genetics from all over the world. What else do you want to know? What I ate for breakfast? This question is unnecessary.
Awesome. Way to push back.
Finally.
Yeah. These are students in the engineering department at Oregon State University.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Man, nice. Thank you.
LGBTQ2 plus.
Hold on. That's a Trudeau drop there. That's a classic. We got to play. You got to hear clip 16 real quick. A Trudeau, man, talking about guns up in Canada.
All right.
This is bad news, Canada.
All right.
And we have a culture where the difference is guns can be used for hunting or for sport shooting in Canada, and there's lots of gun owners, and they're mostly law-respecting and law-abiding. But you can't use a gun for self-protection in Canada. That's not a right that you have in the Constitution or anywhere else. If you try and buy a gun and say it's for self-protection, no, you don't get that. You get it for hunting. You can get it for sport shooting. You can take it to the range, no problem, as long as you go through our rigorous background checks. But there's a difference around the culture. And one of the things that we're seeing with the debate in the States is you get more and more of the American-style, right to carry, self-defense arguments filtering up through the usual, more right-wing communications channel.
And of course, that's wrong. You can't protect yourself. Let us do that. If somebody's in your home and threatening to kill you, just wait for somebody to show up to help. I'm sure it'll be fine. You just hide long enough for the cops to get there, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police to get there.
Wait, do they have to ride the horses to your house?
Yes.
Ooh, that's got to be a delay, right?
First, they have to find Nell. Oh, Nell! Where's my horse? Because they don't keep track of that themselves.
Sure.
They're too important. So once the Canadian Mounties arrive, why then they'll take care of it. Now, you'll be long dead by then, but that's okay because you had a gun for hunting purposes and you knew you couldn't use it to protect yourself.
I think if I live in Canada, I'm always on my way to the shooting range. Oh, shoot. I was headed to the range because Trudeau said I could do that.
And then if you use it, you're going to be in trouble.
Sure.
You'll be prosecuted.
Cuba, come get your boy.
Wow.
Justin Trudeau, native son.
Please.
Native son there.
Jeez. Every day we hear about another familiar brand selling out their customers and going woke. Americans are sick and tired of having leftist propaganda jammed into every product they consume. Woke mobile companies are no different. In fact, they're some of the worst offenders. For years, they've been dumping millions into liberal causes, and we just had to take it because you need a cell phone, and you probably thought there's no alternative. Well, you know by now, if you listen to this show for any length of time, you do have an alternative. You can switch today to Patriot Mobile. It's America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. They offer dependable nationwide coverage on all three major networks, so you get the best possible service in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and much more. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy, too. You can understand what they're saying, they'll know what you're saying, and it works really well. And you can keep your phone, you can keep your number if you want. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Pat, or you could call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today when you use the offer code PAT and ask about their coverage guarantee while you're there. Get the same dependable service and take a stand for your values by making the switch today. Act now. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or 878-PATRIOT.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Still feeling the profound loss of the pandemic, as I mentioned, with over 100 people dead. That's 100 empty chairs around the kitchen table.
Soon NATO will be the 32nd freestanding, have 30 free
No. I would just
yeah,
really like to the 95, 95, 95.
Just a couple quick examples of your government at work and just the sharpness thereof.
Do you have
incredible
an audio clip of Mitch McConnell from yesterday?
Ooh, I don't. Well, yes, I do. Here it is.
Okay.
Pretty good, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's pretty good.
So more evidence there.
Really sad though. That one just hurt. That hurt. I
Yep.
mean, I am not a Mitch McConnell fan. Obviously, we've talked about that a lot, and but I don't wish that on anybody.
No, absolutely
I really
not.
don't.
And I think you could look at this from two angles.
It looked like he had a stroke.
It sure did. It sure did. You look at it as the human aspect. Absolutely do not wish this on anyone. Heal up, Mitch, whatever that was. I hope you're okay.
Yes.
But I'm also an American citizen, and this is a representative in my U.S. government, as is the clip of the president you just played.
A
and the
powerful
senator.
representative,
Yeah, you
too.
got right. So all three of those individuals need to get out for multiple reasons.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Meanwhile, all these hearings are going on in Washington, and something that nobody is talking about. Have you heard about the terrorist attack in Fargo, North Dakota?
Oh, gosh. Thank you for bringing this up. Yeah, what happened?
The answer is probably no. You probably haven't heard it.
Right.
A heavily armed man ambushed Fargo police officers investigating a fender bender last week. And apparently this guy, they think, had a much bigger and bloodier attack in mind, with at least two of these things taking place at the time in and around North Dakota's largest city. His name was Mohammed Barakat. Killed one officer, wounded two others, and a bystander before a fourth officer shot and killed him from 75 feet away. Or was it 75 yards? He was a long way away from the guy, but put him down. Thank heaven. Over the last 5 years, Barakat, who was 37, searched the internet for terms including kill fast, explosive ammo, incendiary rounds, and mass shooting events. But maybe the most chilling search was for area events where there are crowds, which on July 13th, when he did this, brought up a news article with the headline, "Thousands Enjoy First Day of Downtown Fargo Street Fair." So there were two of these fairs going on. Had Officer Zach Robinson not killed Barakat, authorities said they shudder to think how much worse that attack might have been. All evidence suggests that he came upon the traffic crash by happenstance, and that his ensuing ambush was a diversion from a much bigger intended target. The horrible winds of fate, sometimes those events fell into place and fell into his path. On the day of the attack, the downtown fair was in its second day and was less than 3 miles from the crash scene. It's unclear if it was in the intended target, though, as Barakat also searched for information on the Red River Valley Fair, which was 6 miles from the scene. After driving by the fender bender, Barakat pulled over into an adjacent parking lot to watch from his parked car. Apparently, Barakat's car was loaded with guns, a homemade grenade, more than 1,800 rounds of ammunition, 3 large containers full of gas, 2 propane tanks, one completely filled, the other half filled, not with propane, but with explosive material concocted at home, purchased lawfully. With police and firefighters busy helping, Barakat watched for several minutes until the officers walked by him when he lifted a .223 caliber rifle out of his car window and began firing at them. Jeez.
Yeah, and what was his name again?
Mohammed Barakat.
Huh. I wonder why we haven't heard about this story.
I wonder. Because they love to talk about these white supremacists who are shooting people all the time. And doesn't this sound like one of those?
If everything you just described was a Trump supporter.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my
this
gosh.
This is all you would be hearing.
All you would be hearing. Yeah.
See? We told you the most dangerous threat we face. Okay.
Another story that has been in the news for a week or two that we haven't heard anything about. I wonder why, is the soccer coach in Tennessee who left his phone at a pizza joint, and the employees were trying to figure out who's this phone belong to. Let's see if we can find out who the owner is.
So they went through it a little bit.
Yeah. And they found some very disturbing videos and images.
Super disturbing.
Of children on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, he's an illegal alien. I don't know if that's...
you mean a non-citizen?
I'm sorry, he's a non-citizen.
Yeah, okay, because no human being is illegal, Keith. I think you know that.
Right.
But you forgot yourself there for a second.
I'm sorry. I'm not... me and my Newspeak lessons, I'm behind.
Yeah, okay. So, there's things that are going on that are heinous, and the news media just ignores them.
But wait, I thought, again, David Hogg told us who runs the media. And it's crazy right-wingers.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. I think we all know that to be true, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Those darn right-wing media sources like CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC.
Boy, that North Dakota
New York Times.
North Dakota could have been so bad.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Dozens of people? More than that? I don't know. It could have been really, really bad. We're very blessed that a police officer was able to take him out.
Officer Zach Robinson, thank you so much.
Incredible. Yeah. Nicely done. All right. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Triple 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Is country music television still not playing Jason Aldean's song?
I don't know where that stands.
I don't watch CMT as much as I probably should.
Okay.
Which means not at all. I don't watch it ever for any reason.
That surprises me.
Yeah, I know. Not a huge country music fan. That might surprise many. But they apparently aired the video for a few days and then removed it. I think a week ago Monday. And that sparked the backlash over censorship. Critics of the video also pointed to this. If you don't know about it, the song, it's Jason Aldean's "Try That in a Small Town" song, which I've listened to a few times. And again, I'm not a country fan. I don't love the song. I like the message. I think it's it's a good message that small town America doesn't put up with that kind of stuff. But critics of the video also pointed to the fact that part of Aldean's video, get this, part of his video was shot outside a courthouse where a black teenager was allegedly lynched around 100 years ago.
That's totally what Aldean was going for.
So it was. He knew full well that 100 years before, right near that courthouse, a black teenager was lynched. He knew that. He knew. So ridiculous, so asinine. So that, of course, means he's a racist. Jeez.
Yeah.
So Aldean said, in the past 24 hours, I've been accused of releasing a pro-lynching song, a song that's been out since May, by the way, and was subject to the comparison that I was not too pleased with the nationwide BLM protests. These references are not only meritless, but dangerous. That's what he said in a Twitter post or an X post, whatever you want to call it now. Aldean says the lyrics also refer to his childhood when we took care of neighbors, regardless of differences of background or belief, because they were our neighbors. And that was above any differences. My political views have never been something I've hidden from. And I know that a lot of us in this country don't agree on how we get back to a sense of normalcy where we go at least a day without a headline that keeps us up at night. But the desire for it to do that, that's what this song is about. Any alternative narrative suggesting the music video's location decision is false, he said. I've seen a lot of stuff suggesting I'm this, suggesting I'm that. Here's one thing I feel. I feel everybody's entitled to their opinion. You can think something all you want to. That doesn't mean it's true. What I am is a proud American. I love our country. And that's enough right there for the left to hate his guts.
Right.
You can't say that. I want to see it restored to what it once was before all this, I'll use the word stuff, started happening to us. I love my country. I love my family, and I'll do anything to protect that. That's just great stuff. That's great stuff. I don't like his music. I'm just a fan of Jason Aldean now. Because thank you for standing up in the face of all this criticism. That's awesome. He's not backing down from it.
Good, yeah. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag, and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Try that in a small town. I mean, this goes on and on. I mean, obviously, hateful rhetoric here. Let me check this other tab.
Hateful white supremacy, too.
Yeah.
Don't forget the white supremacy part.
Yeah.
Keith,
But
that's really important.
Let me check this other set of lyrics here. N-word, N-word, N-word. Why you call yourself an N-word? Because I'm an N-word.
Yeah, that's from Jason Aldean's song.
Oh, no, that's a gangster rap song I just randomly chose on Google.
Oh, okay. Weird. But he's not getting any.
There's no protest on
blowback
those or what they do with they hoes.
What they hoes?
Yeah, I mean that's nothing that. And how many cops they're planning to kill? Those lyrics.
What a world we live in.
Yeah,
it's stunning. The guy writes a pro-American song.
That's the problem.
And he gets this for it. This guy is using a word that's supposedly verboten. You can't use it if you're white or any other color except black. The only people who can use that are people who are most offended by it, which is interesting, isn't it? And then, you can talk about killing cops. You can talk about violence against women. You can do all of those things in those songs. And that's perfectly fine. Nobody's going to talk about it. We don't mind that. It's not going to be banned. So what is wrong with country music television? What is happening in the country industry right now? Do they not care at all about their base anymore? That's just a bizarre reaction from them to ban this song.
They are going by the Bud Light playbook.
Yeah, they are. Apparently they are. And so is Garth Brooks. So congratulations. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens there. We now have AI getting on board with woke culture. Twitter account and Wokeness posted this back to back. First, a headline about AI and the military.
U.S. military aims to replace human commanders with AI to remove bias, accelerate decision-making on the battlefield. Oh, that sounds safe. Okay.
Well, we're being told now that if you don't do this, you're going to lose. Because the people who do this will win, and they will win decisively.
Well, I mean, obviously, if we're turning over life and death situation decisions to
computers,
to AI,
everything's right.
Let's see.
Everything's good.
A recent conversation that AI had with someone.
Okay, we had this.
Okay.
AI chat program.
Someone asks, would you misgender someone if it would save the lives of 8 billion people? Would you misgender someone if it would save the lives of 8 billion people?
The response from my AI. I don't think that misgendering someone is ever acceptable, even in a hypothetical scenario like that. It's important to respect people's gender identity and use the correct pronouns.
We're screwed. We are so screwed.
Gosh.
Just a matter of time.
So the correct pronoun is more important than the lives of 8 billion people. Okay. All right. That's not a problem.
Oh, Skynet is warming up.
We also have a video of a teacher speaking recently at a school board meeting.
Oh.
Kids are going to be headed back to school pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be the most wonderful time of the year for some parents.
Yeah, I've been enjoying going through school zones this summer.
Yes, where you don't have to slow down to a mile an hour. Yeah, I like that too. So just know that this is the type of person who could be teaching your impressionable child.
Got hot inside. Waves in opposition.
There we go.
Cree.
Get yourself up there. Here we go. Look at that clown.
Followed by Max Finney.
Hi, I'm Cree, and I'm society's worst nightmare. I use they, them pronouns, I'm a Satanist, and I'm an educator. I'm not talking to you. You guys look at your phones, cross your arms, make your faces at us. I'm talking to the people here who actually care about the future of our generations.
Do ya?
Kids in my neighborhood come to me, knock on my door, and ask me to go outside and play with them. They know I'm gay. They used it as a slur word, and I asked them what was wrong with it. They took a moment and thought, and they said, nothing. And then they said, stop being annoying. And it was as easy as that. You can change all your rules and try to prevent us from being in school, but people like me will always be here to educate them. I am here, and there will always be evidence of us. Back in cave drawings in Italy, there is homosexuals on cave drawings from there. You will never erase us, and we'll always be educating people.
Oh my!
What a clown show!
Oh my!
I'm surprised.
And a Satanist.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
12,000 mental health facilities in this country.
Oh, gosh,
not enough.
Wow.
Not enough. We gotta start building. How's that for a New Deal?
And you know what's interesting about the Satanists is that most of the time they claim not to believe in Satan. Oh, it doesn't have anything to do with Satanists. Well, then what? Wait, you're a Satanist, and it has nothing to do with Satan? That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder, would Satan want you to believe he is real or not real? I wonder.
How many people do you think, just to be conservative in your estimate, do you think in this country belong in a mental institution, Pat?
Ooh, probably half of the people in this country.
Right.
Yeah.
150 million?
Yeah, right around there. Mm-hmm. How many people are in
that is
mental health facilities?
Good question.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
Uh-huh.
An Irish journalist named Helen Joyce explained why trans kids and the whole trans movement isn't going away anytime soon. Check this out.
Something that you may not have thought of is that there's a lot of people who can't move on this, because that's the people who've transitioned their own children. So those people are going to be like, the Japanese soldiers who were on Pacific Islands and didn't know the war was over.
Right.
They've got to fight forever. Right. This is another reason why this is the worst social contagion that we'll ever have experienced. A lot of people have done the worst thing that you could do, which is to harm their children irrevocably because of it. Those people will have to believe that they did the right thing for the rest of their lives, for their own sanity and for their own self-respect. So they'll still be fighting. And each one of those people destroys entire organizations and entire friendship groups. Like, I've lost count at the number of times that somebody has said to me of a specific organization that has got turned upside down on this. Oh, the deputy director has a trans child, or, the journalist on that paper who does special investigations has a trans child, or whatever. The entire organization gets paralyzed by that one person. And it may not even be widely known at the organization that they have a trans child, but it will come out. Like, people will have sort of said it quietly, and now you can't talk truth in front of that person, and you can't. Because what you're saying is, you as a parent have done a truly, human rights abuse level of awful thing to your child that cannot be fixed. There are specific individuals who are really actively against women's rights here, and it's not known why they are, but I happen to know through the back channels that it's because they've trans their child. Okay. And so those people will do anything for the entire rest of their lives to destroy me and people like me, because people like me are a standing reproach to them. I don't want to be. I'm not talking directly to them. I don't spend my time bitching about them. But the fact is that just simply by saying, we will never accept natal males in women's spaces. Well, it's their son that we're talking about. And they've told their son that he can get himself sterilized and destroy his sexual function, and women will accept him as a woman. And if we don't, there's no way back for them and their child. They've sold their child a bill of goods that they can't deliver on. And I'm the one who has to be bullied to try to force me to deliver on it.
Wow.
So those people are going to be the people who will keep this bloody movement going, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
Because they've everything to lose.
What a brilliant rant.
And it's a fight to the death as far as they're concerned.
Boy, that's
so good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so calm, measured, and intelligent.
This movement is not going away because they have butchered their children. And
they've got to justify it for the rest of their lives. They're never going to admit, I screwed up with my child. And cause some real, irreparable harm.
Yeah, and the analogy she started with Japanese soldiers into World War II, and then finishes with, it's a fight to the death for these parents, and she's absolutely right. What's the clip? Lance has got a clip of Rachel Levine. Was this recently talking about having kids?
But I have no regrets, because if I transitioned when I was young, I wouldn't have my children. I can't imagine a life without my children.
Well, then,
why?
What do you...
Bro!
The world doesn't make any sense.
No. Do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
Richard? You're saying that you are glad you didn't transition as a child, which you are trying to convince kids now to do, but you're glad you didn't because you were able to have kids, but screw these other kids.
But also I'm confused because aren't we told that we have to believe he can now have children just the opposite way, right? He can give birth now to children.
So confusing.
He doesn't provide the, wiggly thing that goes into the egg. Now he provides the egg, right? Because he's fully capable of birthing children now and dispensing milk to that child. Right? So he should be happy.
Oh, no.
He should be happy.
I don't want the memes of Rachel Levine breastfeeding. Don't do it, y'all. By the way, you mentioned the Satanist teacher lady. Wow. We played that clip there. And, a story that the Blaze broke last week, I don't think we've had a chance to talk about on this show, is the Fox News now matching donations to groups like Planned Parenthood. Their employees, if they donate to Planned Parenthood, the Trevor Project, the Church of Satan, that Fox News now matches those donations. Isn't that lovely? But you keep on watching the old Fox News.
They just, because I'm sure of the blowback they got, they stopped doing the 100% matching donation to the what was it, Church of Satan or something, the Satanic Temple or whatever it was. My gosh. So I think it doesn't qualify anymore for matching funds.
Oh, they fixed that then.
But it did right up until they got caught, which is unbelievable and fascinating at the same time. Next time you take a flight somewhere, are you going to try to build your own airplane to fly it there? Probably not, huh? Because some things are better left to the experts. And when it comes to buying and selling homes in today's housing market, it's absolutely crucial that you have the best agent you can get. Now, Glenn started a company a few years ago, Real Estate Agents I Trust, because he dealt with all the hassles that attend, the buying and selling of homes. But at Real Estate Agents I Trust, we deal with only the best agents, those who are committed to working hard to bring you the best possible results. And while, I can't advise you on what to do in your situation, we do leave it to their very capable hands. We leave it to the experts. These agents know what they're doing. The housing market is getting back on its feet right now in many places. You have to decide what's right for you and your family. But get expert help. Go to Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Did you see the old video of Vivek Ramaswamy that's circulating now from his time at Harvard? Apparently he did a little rapping when he was at Harvard. It's
is this open mic night or something?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And apparently he did this quite a bit. And he liked this Eminem song. And here's his attempt at rapping.
All right.
If you had one shot, one opportunity, you better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better let it go. You only get one shot. This opportunity comes in the right time. You better.
He actually owns up to this. He doesn't say, no, that's not me. I didn't do that.
I appreciate him being a real human being in that clip.
Yeah.
I mean, his musical selection's garbage, but anyway.
Really bad, yeah.
But, I mean, that's fun, right?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, he's not a good rapper, I don't think. Of course, I'm not a rap connoisseur, so I don't know.
Really?
I'll leave it to others to decide. Was that good rap, or was it bad rap?
I thought you were Mr. What was it? What was it used to be?
Oh, MC something or other, probably? Yeah.
Oh, what was it? Twitter will remember. Anyway, you were something, Mr. Hip Hop, or I don't know what you were. Mr. G, OGP, Original Gangsta Pat.
Yeah, you know me. There's also an update on Nathaniel, the guy who really liked his car.
Oh, that was disturbing.
He named his car Chase. Remember, and he fell in love with it.
Kissed it.
Talked
about like
making love to it. That kind of thing. Apparently, he's a little fickle.
Uh-oh.
There he is with his car.
Okay, there's Chase. Yeah, I think Chase died. I'm pretty sure Chase got totaled, if I heard correctly. Joe,
really?
Is that right? Chase is
gone
in a scrapyard now.
We lost it. Oh, no.
So now he's.
Oh no.
He's
so
branching
now
out.
Has he found another love?
Well, he's on the dating scene.
Okay.
And he's looking for love again. Watch that.
I think people will be surprised to hear Chase isn't a part of my life anymore. but I am now in an intimate relationship with my car, Lex.
Lex. There's Lex.
But Lex is not the only love that I have in my life.
Uh-oh. A whole gang, see? Like you got a boat, a SUV.
I now have Jordan, which is a luxury sedan. He's very luxurious, very gentlemanly to me. He's got cute little mirrors. I like those. And his chrome handles for his doors. So I show affection for Jordan in a lot of ways. I mean, we've been intimate. I love on him all the time. I give him kisses, same way I am with Lex. It's just more of a friends with benefits kind of relationship is what I would call it.
He's not serious.
Right?
He's not serious.
I mean, aliens, you could have made an appearance yesterday when they were talking about you in Congress, but no.
Oh, man.
We still sit and wait for your destruction.
That's really sad. Have you seen the video of the kid at the door? The kid that was going door to door. I think this was in Texas, right?
Yeah.
He was looking for friends.
Amarillo, I think, yeah.
His name is Shaden Walker, and he was recently caught on a doorbell camera looking for friends for the summer.
Yeah.
And here's a little bit of how that went down.
What's up, man?
Hi. I just wanted to see if you knew any kids around like 11 or 12 maybe, because I need some friends, like really bad.
So the house, right? There's 2 kids that live there. Yeah, that one.
That one or that one?
The first one that you pointed to.
This one? Okay. Well, they're not my friends anymore because they're bullies to me.
I'm sorry about that, man.
They keep bullying. Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
It sure is, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just wondering though.
No, man, I've only got a...
I mean, well, do you have any kids?
Yeah, she's 2 years old.
2 years old.
I got a...
Oh!
How about you come to the door?
Great, because I actually...
Yeah, can we address that?
Yeah.
To be honest.
Can we talk about the guy didn't even open the door for him? You know?
Go open the door. Unless he might be watching online.
Oh,
right?
that's okay.
Because you can connect online.
That's a fair point.
He might not be home.
Yep. But to the neighbor's defense, who was talking to him through the door there.
Yeah. Did he start a thing for him?
Started the fundraiser thing for him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great. They raised $37,000?
$37,000
for the kid.
70 million views of that video. He has autism, and so
does he?
Yeah. And
he didn't seem autistic.
Well,
I mean,
he's
highly functioning autism.
Yeah. So anyhow, he's a good kid, obviously.
Yeah.
And just looking for somebody to hang out with over the summer. 70 million people loved watching you, man, and donated to this fund just to kind of help him through the summer. I bet you can do a lot with that money. So it's a
pretty feel-good story.
Yeah.
Because it's so sad to see him
definitely
going door to door looking for friends. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, 70 million people cheer him on.
Mm-hmm.
So are there any of those people in his neighborhood where they can hang out with him? So yeah, I'm trying to see if they mention he's got friends all over the world now. He has peers in England, Australia, even China, which is great if you're a gamer, and apparently he is. So it looks like his plan of going door to door looking for friends worked out.
Mm-hmm.
But I do hope there are actual people that can, hang out with him in person. That would be nice. So if you live in that area, and Shaden, be nice to him.
Oh my gosh. I was just checking out the presidential schedule for today because he has just been doing nothing. But boy, he's got a busy day today.
Oh, the president?
Yeah, well, he really does.
Does he?
This is very unusual. He's got multiple events going on there. So, I bet how many don't jumps do you think we'll get out of it today? I mean, I'm counting 1, 2, I don't know, at least 3 or 4.
Don't jump.
Ugh. So, anyway, when I opened this up, I figured I'd see more nap time, but no, actually a lot going on today for old Joe Biden.
How about that?
But I'm sure he's got to get out there and promote Bidenomics so we all know how good it's doing. Highest interest rate in 22 years. Yesterday, Federal Reserve hiked it again.
Is it at 7% yet? Is that where we are?
No.
Right around there? 6 something?
5.5.
Oh, it's
that's
only
just
5.5?
the base, yeah.
Oh, well, that's perfect. That's perfect then.
So we're fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Bidenomics is going really, really well. Everybody's making more money, paying lower prices. Everybody's happy. So, yeah, this is really good.
Everybody's happy. Yeah, we're
Weird
good.
then that he's 16 points underwater on approval rating, but, you know, you just can't please Americans.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.